When you're pretty much a one-man band and every client is really critical and really important, then you have to be very, very patient. Well, I worked in corporate life for many years, for well over 30 years, and so I guess the issue for me was I was incredibly surprised at how difficult it is working effectively with corporates. I thought I knew all there was to know about them, but having worked in a senior role in my previous existence where people answered the phone immediately or answered emails immediately, suddenly I found that when I was writing to people asking if I could have a meeting to discuss my business, there'd be a very, very long silence, so I'd have to write again and maybe again as well. What was also equally frustrating, I found it very frustrating working with corporates, as you might gather, is how long it just takes to get a decision. So in a number of cases, it has taken me something like 9 months, maybe longer, to actually get a result and get a contract. Now, the real issue here is that these organisations tend to be large, they tend to have complex processes they need to go through in order to make a decision. You're not their biggest priority. They've got lots of other things that they're worrying about. So from their perspective, they're treating you absolutely properly because they've got lots of other things to do. But when you're pretty much a one-man band and every client is really critical and really important, then you have to be very, very patient and, you know, go with the flow and not hassle too much, but equally be robust and just hang on in there, because there will be long periods of silence, and then suddenly you'll get a phone call out of nowhere which will say, can you come in for a meeting? And what really I find hilarious is that having worked in corporate life for so long, I've sort of forgotten that, you know, and I haven't been out of corporate life for that long. I was working in the city only about a year ago, but you just have no idea what it's like being on the other side until you are on the other side of the fence. The other thing I do have is I've put in place a whole kind of series of, I guess, tools to help me track how I'm doing with clients. So if I have a meeting, I make sure I've kept a record of who I've met and anything I know about them. And then I keep a record of, you know, when I'm in touch with them, so I follow up, and anything I've learned I'll make a note of. So I try and have a proper customer tracking system, so I'm not hassling, but I'm not letting things go on too long if I've not heard anything.